Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to this special edition of the S.O.S podcast, Trainer Society, the most honest hour and change of your day once a week. But this is special, so we're gonna give you a little extra. Today we coming to y'all, we're gonna have a little discussion with a couple of brothers about the conversation about the J.Cole song, Snow on the Bluff, and people's reactions to it and people's thoughts on that. And then last night we also got a response from the MC that people are speculating that he was talking about in his song, and her response to him. So with no further ado, if you haven't heard those songs, I would advise you to pause this video, go check out these songs, and then come right back to this here video, and let's partake in this conversation. So I don't know who of you all wants to start it off. I'll let you give your perspectives that I saw you all write on the book. I guess Cam, you can go first. I saw you moving around.
Okay, so all right, my take on the whole. I'm gonna start off with the tweet that Noname put out. I
Right.
felt like she shouldn't have put that out there because it's like kind of like you calling people out while they already doing something, and yeah, I just felt like that part was unnecessary, but it happened. So of course you get a response, and the response is from Jcole. Jcole, I felt like he didn't say anything wrong. I do think he shouldn't have made the song. It should have been a conversation between them two. But yeah, I don't think it was nothing wrong with it. I felt like it was something that needed to be talked about. I felt like we do need to take responsibility for how a lot of the women are being treated out here. A lot of black women for being treated out here because a lot of them saying they don't feel protected and they have a right to say how they feel, and that's a reality that we have to be on notice about. And I think this is the time to listen to what they have to say. But again, the whole J. Cole response, I don't see anything wrong with it. I felt a lot of stuff was taken out of context, like the whole Queen's tone. That part I felt like he was speaking on like he was saying like she spoke to his insecurities. So Charlamagne said, a hit dog a holler, and he hollered. he felt like, damn, she talking to me. Like it's like, nah, Sam, you doing enough already. Why do you feel the need to say anything at all? But him being the artist that he is, of course he gonna say something. That's pretty much my take on it.
Okay. Sunni Ali.
Happy Juneteenth, y'all. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of conflicted, man. I understand the energy that that was behind the tweet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shorty feel like, look, I'm on my activism shit. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? It's a very hard time, I think, really for all black people. I mean, this kind of goes without saying, right? It's a very poignant moment. And I think as black men, we definitely, we see that on the daily, right? But I think something that we could maybe take, like as a collective, and I'm not saying this, the individuals don't, but as a collective, take into account, you know what I'm saying, like Cam kind of was saying in his comment, how they feel like they not protected fully, right? And the energy that generated that tweet is the same energy, you know what I'm saying, that come from the same place when you out here, you on the front lines, you know what I'm saying, you basically saying, fuck the bread. Like, I'm seeing everybody that's coming out to my shows, like it's a bunch of, it's not my people. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? Fuck, I'm not gonna let these people co-opt the culture. You know what I'm saying? Type move. So I think there's a certain authenticity, you know what I'm saying, like kind of like behind her moves, and you know that energy is, man, you on the front lines, and you know you see another shorty that was on the front lines, and then you know advocating for all of us, right? 19 years old, and then shorty pop up, you know, she sexually assaulted, you know what I'm saying, and then murdered, you know what I'm saying, by a brother that lured her in for shelter. You know, he's supposed to be a protector. He's supposed to be an elder. So there's a different type of betrayal, and that's not to say that none of that is on our parts, right? As individuals, but like as a collective, bro, like you know, when you seeing that energy, I can kind of understand why Shorty will put a tweet like that out there. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some motherfuckers that are just, you know, just missed that or what have you, right? So I feel like J.Cole responds because the tweet, I don't think, I mean, we all know like J.Cole is he's active, he's out here, right? Like he's put on for homeless people. He's putting families like in homes, right? Like I won't sit here and shit on like the steps that the man has taken to enrich his community and lift up motherfuckers, you know, in the community the best way that he knows how, right? But I do think that in making this song and releasing it at this moment, it takes a little bit away, kind of considering his platform. It takes away a little bit, or it detracts a little bit from the momentum, like of the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we having a petty conversation instead of talking about the more overarching things and like really being focused on that. And I know motherfuckers can walk and shoot gun, but a song like this, like it perpetuates culture wars like within the community. And it's good to have certain conversations, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just conflicted on it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I thought the song, like he tried to be like, you know, as measured as possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that there was a little bit of paternalism behind it, like, you know, a little bit of tone policing, you know what I mean? Like he definitely, you know, kind of hopped in that bag and tried to soften it up with Queen shit. You know, but that's Cole bag, you know what I'm saying? That's his lane. I thought her shit and the fact that, you know, she responded 24 hours, though, that was dope. That's hip hop right there. And I'm not looking at this like as a who song was better, right?
Right.
But her song was poignant, you know what I'm saying? It was dope. The urgency behind it was dope. It was kind of a refocusing. Like, look, this is what the fuck the agenda is. You know what I'm saying? Basically hand slapping. I'm like, bro, you could have DM'd or text me or hit me on this. Like Cam said, it could have been a conversation, instead of a song. You know, but you know, it's gonna be some great discussions from it. You know, you getting good work and having good discussions, you know, from these artists and, you know, kind of that head to head. So it could be on some petty shit. You know what I'm saying? We could be talking about, you know, Soulja Boy versus Chris Brown, right? It could be some lame shit like that. So, you know, I'm conflicted on it, but you know, they both did their thing to a certain extent, you know, on the mic. But I just feel like, you know, we definitely, just as a collective, bro, we definitely got to hear our women more, and we got to go the extra mile, bro, to make sure that they feel secure, safe, and protected. And now more than ever, and it's important that if you have a platform and you've developed a career, kind of almost like in that conscious lane, right? You the conscious nigga, you taking on that mantle, and you've gone at niggas like the mumble rappers. You know, we ain't even got to go into no details, but you know how Cole be picking on niggas, right? On them little niggas.
Right.
And you've been that guy, so it's like, you know, it's not like somebody is picking on you. You know, you got thick skin, bro. You had that conversation, as opposed to releasing a song that, you know, kind of take away from the moment a little bit, man. You know. That's my take on it.
Okay. Cam?
Yeah, he definitely touched on everything that, you know, that that was said. But trying to see. Oh, another point that I want to make, like as far as the whole being, like, I guess the being patient part. I felt like that was another piece of him saying, like, you know, we fighting for this cause. We definitely gonna fight for this cause too, but you gotta, you know, be patient, like, you know, and while we fighting for this cause, you can educate people on what's going on that don't know about it, or what could be done about it, and instead of like calling people out like, oh, y'all only doing this, y'all should be doing this too. It's kind of like you belittling people in a sense. Like the way that it came off is like she was belittling people, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like you have people that's fighting the same fight. Is really no need in taking them from one fight while they're in the process of getting everything done for that fight to go to the next one. Like maybe everybody ain't ready to go to the next fight. You know, I don't know. Like it's all just bad timing with, like you said, it's bad timing of from the song to the tweet. Like I felt like if she felt the way about certain rappers that's doing what they doing, hit them up. Like, yo, we need you to be on this now. Like they already doing this. We need you to be on this. It's like her making that tweet kind of like put us against each other now, when it shouldn't be like, when we shouldn't be at each other's head. We should be like, all right, cool, let's come together. Let's work on a plan to get this done. Versus, oh yeah, you ain't doing enough. Like this is not the time to be calling people out saying that you're not doing enough. People gonna do what they can do, and I'd rather people do what they can do versus faking anything. Like if you're gonna be real
Mm-hmm.
about it, you doing what you do it.
I like to pose that question to Sony, and see what he thinks about it real quick. The now ain't the time to be calling people out.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that? Because that was what you said, right, Cam?
Yeah, yeah.
So do you agree with that? Now ain't the time to be calling people out as far as their activism or what they should be doing for the community or whatever?
So the most interesting part about this whole thing and the way it materialized, and I think really it's kind of central to where Cole's song came from, right? It came from a place of, and he I mean he kind of alluded to it himself, right? So I'm not pulling this out of thin air. Like I think the brother would agree with me based on the way the bars are crafted, but I think it really come from a place of insecurity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the tweet, the reason why I say that, the tweet was not really directed, like she didn't call him out by name, right? Like people
Right.
basically inferred that, oh, okay, she was talking about Kendrick and Cole. Like that was an inference that people made. She, to my knowledge, she never came out and said, yeah, you know, that tweet that everybody is referencing, like, yeah, that was smoke. You know what I'm saying, for Cole and Kendrick. And, you know, as far as them being like, you know, kind of two that have this, you know, kind of like black, you know, I don't want to say liberation, but just really consciousness, right? Being kind of central to
Mm-hmm.
the things in their music, right? And really having like built, you know, careers off of those concepts. So like she never said that, you know, it was directed, you know, really at either of them. You know what I'm saying? So when we say like calling people out, yeah, it's a sub tweet, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we can criticize that, you know, all we want, but there's a sense of urgency. And I think that it is important in this moment. Because I'm going to tell you, bro, I feel like like what J.Cole said, me personally, I could do so much more. So I'm going to allow the moment to mobilize me and shit that I done been maybe, you know what I'm saying? You know what? Now I need to make it a priority, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's an important message to hear. It's important to remove the ego from it. Um, yeah, especially it wasn't even directed at homie. You know what I'm saying? But in them situations, you got to remove your ego and just I feel like really go harder, man. It's an opportunity to really go harder and still sharpen steel. And you know, I'm comfortable receiving that message from a woman because shit, best believe I'm a hold women accountable. You know what I'm saying? In certain
Mm-hmm.
lanes and areas, right? So, you know what I'm saying? I'm more than comfortable, man, and we need that kind of steel, sharp and steel. Like it's time to rise to the occasion and really like, you know what I'm saying, be the men and protectors that, you know what I'm saying, we was engineered by the ancestors to be. So I didn't really find like a huge issue with it. I could see how some would be off put by the tone, but you know, it's a sense of urgency behind it and the moment kind of justified. circumstances justified.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I feel you. You got anything to say today, Cam? Before I start? I want to give you
Um,
as much opportunity to say what y'all complete thoughts were to really get
I
this
feel,
out from y'all voices.
yeah, he absolutely right about that. Yeah, it's just so much going on. It's just like it's only so much that you can do in a moment. So it's like we gotta, like you said, we gotta be patient. We gotta be patient with each other, and really come together. Like that's really my only rebuttal on it. Like,
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
so
can I wait? Can I add one more you did to that?
mm-hmm.
So in addition to, because Cam had also referenced, when J.Cole was talking about, and I really think we ain't dive into this too. I just want to add this like real quick, bro. But like J.Cole kind of insinuated like, man, some privilege, what I'm saying, involved with like Shorty upbringing or her having this, I guess, like maybe instilled like in the family, like, he invoked that concept of
Mm-hmm.
privilege. And it's wild because like what I know, saying so far about Shorty activism is, she building with, renowned um uh proletariat minded, individuals, you know what I'm saying? Like actually in the field that, got some years under their belt. And she also do like a book club you did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's something that's kind of known, in that space, like in the industry. So, Cole, he an eclectic nigga, he know that. So to say like, man, like, and this is just addressing Cam's point, he was like, yeah, she could kind of, be, do a little bit more, maybe be more on the teacher side. Like, bro, that's the whole point of facilitating a book club. You know what I'm saying? Where you go on, or you trying to, you have material that's centered around making people more politically conscious so they could be more politically engaged and also address this from a political perspective, right? In a way other than just, the Democrat and Republican party system, right? That angle that we've been doing for years. So she actually doing this shit, and it's like, if the conversation that happened, it could have been built that way. So like, just to add to the fact that she never even mentioned the dude, she is doing the very things that he
that's true.
mentioned in the song. And it's like,
That's true.
bro, it's like, gee, just had that conversation. You know what I'm saying? The bar should have been a phone combo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. I just wanted to add that to address the education part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got two comments that I want y'all to speak towards. Um, well, I'll this and I'll ask Cam something else too, but is there any leeway you give him for creating a song in the mind state that it may need to be a message heard by more than just him? Maybe he's communicating something to someone else that should hear it, that wouldn't otherwise hear it unless it came in this form from him.
Um, I do feel like it's like a double entendre behind it, because that's type of artist I see Cole as. So I can see him like being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna respond to her, but at the same time, I'm sending a message out to other people to let them know, like, look, this is who you should be, getting your information from. This is who you should talk to if you need to know any more info about, whatever is going on. So I can see that being a reason he made it into a song. But yeah, like I said, like he could have did the same thing he did with what's buddy name, Lil Peep or whatever his name is. Could do the same thing like he did
Mm-hmm.
with her, just like, hit her up on IG, yo, let's talk. Put this out here so people can know, like, this is a conversation that needs to be had. This is something that we can comfortably talk to each other about and come to an understanding versus us being at each other's neck.
So I think maybe you're saying that he should have had the conversation with her and not to her, so to speak,
Yeah,
or
definitely.
to you, and as opposed to a conversation where I can have this conversation with you in front of
Exactly.
you, be better able to educate him. Um, So, do you think that might have been a better approach to the situation? And would that be a valid approach to it, in your opinion?
We're just having a conversation as opposed to.
Well, having the conversation, making the song in whatever form that he just did it, but doing it with her, like have the conversation and have the conversation for the sake of having the conversation because it needs to be had, but also maybe this conversation needs to be had in front of people that share similar ideology that may be able to learn something from just consuming this conversation. You know what I'm saying? And the best way I can get you to consume a conversation or a topic is through a song because I'm a song maker, you know?
And you know what, bro? That's such a dope. And I want to see it kind of, and that happens, right? Like I don't want to say like what I want to see. Like let me not approach this from like a scarcity or we need to see more of mindset or perspective, right? It definitely does happen. You got artists that link up on that, and I think that like J.Cole, like for me, I'm not a big J.Cole fan, but I got a dude he's technically proficient, right? He can rap his ass off. I just don't like the content. I don't find it all that engaging. It's kind of kind of go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But essentially that would have been dope, bro. Like if they had a like collabed on a song together, you know what I'm saying? Had the conversation, and they could have even did it with like opposing viewpoints. I think that would have been maybe a more authentic rendition of what like T.I. You know that lame shit T.I. and Kanye tried to do. You know what I'm saying? Kanye was coming from like the MAGA perspective, and T.I. was
Oh
basically
yeah.
So I think like if they had done, and there's still an opportunity. I feel like the way both of them, there's still an opportunity, bro. Ain't no bridges burned. Like this is just a family argument. At the end of the day, well, I won't even say argument. It's a family discussion.
It's a
That,
conversation.
that people outside the community, like, because they each have a large like white fan base, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
they got a pretty diverse fan base. Cole's is obviously like eclipsing hers. Like, there's no comparison, bro. Like Cole is a superstar in a sense, right? I won't say superstar, but he crazy. He out of there, right? In a different environment. So
Right. He got a broader reach.
yeah, but I feel like to your point, man, that would have been such a dope way, and the door is still open. I feel like unless either one of them personally feel a kind of way. I can't speak for how they feel. Only they know what they'd be amenable to do. But I just think like for the culture and for the moment, if they could get in the studio or in some form where it's like motherfuckers can see it and they have that discourse, and it can be from opposing viewpoints, right? And you have somebody moderated, but some way where that conversation can really be had, you know what I'm saying? I think that would be dope. And that might be the start of, you know what I'm saying, more engagement, right? More motherfuckers want to become a little bit more activated than we may currently be, right? That might be the catalyst. But to your point, yeah, that would have been a dope approach, but preferably in song format with Mad Lib on the beat, just throw that out there, Niggas be watching,
Hey, look, somebody might catch it. I'm like, oh, you know what? Light bulb. Hey, I heard both of y'all say this, say these two things a lot throughout. Cam, you've been speaking on patience, and Suni, you've been speaking more so towards urgency of the moment and dealing with the moment. How do we reconcile the two? Is it even possible to reconcile the two? So they can both exist in the same space and build a better coalition between the people who are practicing or trying to say patience and need this to do this, and the people that are speaking towards urgency. It needs to happen now. This is an immediate thing that should happen.
That's where we need to we need to come together on some like, all right, look, these are the urgent matters that need to happen, that need to take place, and these are the matters that we can get more knowledge on and build on, and what we need to educate ourselves on. Like that's pretty much how I can see it being coexistent in a sense. Yeah, that's how I can see it.
And that's a dope concept to me, man. Like I feel like You know, in my mind, Joe, the most ideal marriage of patience and urgency is we already know these shorties because if you look at all the and it's not just the crazy thing. Like the reason why I'm so like I'm so y'all hear me say this. The moment is unprecedented, Joe. Like 2020, like what we've seen in the past like 3 weeks, Jack. It's literally like history is unfolding, right? Like this is a global situation. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers like around the globe, like sending it up at like U.S. embassies, bro. I'm talking about like sending it up, like in Greece, place where you would have, you know what I'm saying? They definitely got, you know, they racist, you know, past or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But their youth are sending it up, you know what I'm saying? U.S. embassy on behalf of, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers impacted by, you know, state sanctioned violence, you know. So I feel like, you know, I went off on a tangent. I feel like the best ideal marriage of the two is for us older folks, you know what I'm saying? Like we slightly older, you know, we getting to that point, is to be patient with these shorties that are acting with urgency, that can appreciate the urgency because they're looking at the current landscape and what future they have in America. So I can appreciate their urgency, right? I can appreciate, you know what I'm saying, the people that Noname is speaking for. You know what I'm saying? You got 19-year-old activists, G, they charged up, but shorty homeless. You know what I'm saying? And when we look up in the
Are you
next few
speaking
months,
towards? Are you talking about the girl from Tallahassee?
yeah, you know what I'm saying,
Okay.
Toya, you know,
Yeah.
so it's like, man, bro, like, right, say her name, right? But it's like, man, bro, like, you know, we looking at, you know what I'm saying, come August, man, when a lot of these rent relief, like this shit roll off, like it's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers homeless, G. Like that shit gonna start looking like the unemployment numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's at a critical point. So these shorties are seeing that they on the edge of that, they college age, they high school age, and they like, damn, you know what I'm saying? What's the future like in America, especially if you're a black man or you're a black woman? You know what I'm saying? What's the future like for you in America? So that's where that urgency comes from. So I think that we have to temper that and be patient kind of with them and be a little bit more advisory and make sure that in the capacity in which we are advisory, we are consultative, we are able to kind of lend a little bit of our wisdom from experiences to temper that urgency so that it is more focused. I think that we have to do that in very careful, you know what I'm saying, very careful way so as not to impact the momentum potentially. You know?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I heard you say something that kind of stuck out to me, and I'm gonna paraphrase it a little bit, but I think you said give the same patience you asking for to the people that you asking from, like J.Cole, like for comparison's sake, J.Cole is asking for patience so he can get brought up to speed. And he's saying in that asking for patience, watch your tone, don't talk to me that way, you know. Maybe he can be patient with that person whom he's asking to check their tone, knowing that maybe they have a sense of urgency. I can also extend some patience to them and not become so agitated when I'm hearing things that may be uncomfortable. Am I right in that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
All right.
Absolutely. And that's why I said like earlier, man, like ego, man, it's hard, bro. You know, cause it's hard to remove that ego from yourself in situations, you know, sometimes, man, we all human, bro. And when you on that level, you got a platform that large, the ego is it's on another level. You know what I'm saying? Like conversations that would normally be interpersonal, like this shit play out. You know what I'm saying? And you got so many people privy to that would normally be like if you weren't a celebrity or whatnot. So I understand like how the ego like it gets just amplified, but as much as possible, man, I think that we being taught a lesson right now. Like it's time to temper these egos.
Yeah. And
And
like
let's
that,
temper our egos.
that just like bring me to like a question of like, okay, if somebody came to you like you doing something, somebody come up to you like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that. I feel like that's like a natural reaction from like anybody, because anybody could come up to me and say like, hey, you need to be doing this. I'm like, hey, chill, I got it. I'm gonna take care of it. Let me finish what I'm doing. I feel like that was like just like a natural reaction of like, let me do what I'm doing, and I'm gonna get to that.
Mm-hmm. I can see that, and so personally, I don't think that reaction is wrong. It's not. It's a natural reaction, like you said. It's not a wrong reaction, but for the sake of furthering the cause, as soon as said, somebody has to check their ego, and it might have to be you. Hey, look, I'm really talking to both sides. Like everything that one side is saying could be said to the other side. Somebody has to yes.
Oh yeah. It's definitely gray area, bro. It's not black and white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what Cole, like the message that Cole laid out, like even if it wasn't, like even okay, like that's a criticism of Noname and her brand of, you know what I'm saying, activism or engagement is the call out, you know what I'm saying, which we talked about via the tweet, right? But we still don't know if he was necessarily the subject of that, but that's why after the sub, like motherfuckers speculate. That's why people do it, right? So I mean, I feel like you know what I'm saying, like kind of like on that tip, like as far as that's concerned, there's other people that kind of engage in that maybe not as active or maybe not as engaged, like say like as a Noname, and they contributing to essentially noise, because it's like there's no real advocacy like on your behalf in any other instance, like you just on here just, you know, typing words and shit, right? And we can't reconcile that with nothing that you done did, like even like in your interpersonal life, you know, motherfuckers just have an opinion. So I think like that message that Cole laid out, like it applies, you know what I'm saying, definitely to those individuals, you know what I'm saying? Like and really his joint would have been even more justified, a position would have been even more justified if that was the case. But that's a hypothetical though, you know. That's a hypothetical.
True that.
But there's some people that applies to, you know, for sure, like legit, 100%. You know, and you know, like I say, it's a family discussion, Jack.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And I think that we all, in order to move forward, we all got to check our egos and understand that the person saying this to me is not working towards the detriment of me.
Right.
So maybe I should just listen a little bit and not take it so personally, because we all may not have the same exact plan, but we all have the same goal. You know?
Yeah. Fighting the same fight.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll break it right there. Thank y'all for tuning in to our discussion. I feel like we got to a point where we can actually build from something. I think we touched on a lot of different topics. We talked about curbing one's ego and how everyone should take a step back and just look at themselves from the other person's perspective, and maybe we can get closer and gain some ground that way. Because just because a person has a different plan than you, if they have the same goal, then maybe you shouldn't antagonize them so much, or maybe you should just listen to them a little bit. But we all gonna figure it out at some point. We just taking a break right now, but we'll talk about these things like this and more in depth as we continue. But thank y'all for watching the S.O.S podcast special. Yeah.
We out.
Coming from the concrete, juggle of the wood. Smell the flowers in the air, burning from the woods. Yeah, the hood patrollers, watching the paper soldiers. Gun smoke floating through the air like vultures, but we got culture. Be aware of the leaves and the snakes in the garden. They all vultures, but I'ma fly higher. Can't get close, cause sun coming with the fire. I need no ghost to float on my own rider. Walking to my house, we building empires, bro. God got me in my zone, yo.